Sorry, that was me. It was an accident.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
She's there.
Okay, everybody shut your eyes so you don't get seasick from that. Diane, can you turn on your sound and your video? And we have 17 participants. We want to welcome you all to our webinar with Diane Wilson, the wonderful, wonderful activist, code pinker and Veterans for Peace and environmental activist supremo. And we hope Diane will turn on her.
I finally got it. Finally.
Oh, we hear you. Now, can we see you?
Let's see. You mean start the video?
Yes,
Yeah.
start video. Start video.
Yeah. It says I'm unable to start because the host has stopped it.
Or on your, we just want you to start your video on the webinar. So there should be something right there.
Yeah.
if
I
you're-
keep trying to push it, and it says the host has stopped it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now it made me the host.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Wow. Hang on.
Okay, now
Oh,
hit it.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's a hunger strike. That's
Well, at least
Yeah.
you have an excuse. I don't even have an excuse. And these two, we want to thank Maxine and Mary of Code Pink Women for Peace for talking us, myself through this and helping Diane's
my
picture
God.
appear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to thank everyone who's on with us for this wonderful webinar with Diane Wilson, our great friend and activist colleague, and so many different things of from everything. And in fact, Diane, if it's all right with you, could we start out and we'll show a few pictures of you and the various exploits that you've done.
Sure,
And
go
I
ahead.
must,
You
I
go right
must say,
ahead.
for you're having been on hunger strike for what is it, 11 days?
That's right. 11 days.
You're looking really good.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad. You get fuzzy in the head and weak in the legs, but if I'm sitting, I'm doing good.
Well,
Don't
good.
make me mow the lawn.
Well, and we are so pleased to be able to help elevate the massive work that you're doing in order to bring attention to us of an environmental problem in your area. And
Oh, absolutely.
we'll ask you to tell us about this, but just to kind of go through these slides about stopping the dredging, stopping the oil export, and this is one of your signs from 11 days, but
Uh-huh.
and then just to give a little bit of a walk down memory lane for everyone of your Unreasonable Woman book that's been such a godsend to everyone. Diary of an Eco Outlaw, what a story. And
That was fun.
you're going to scuttle your boat to
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
attention,
That was a new word. I was going to sink it.
sink it.
Sink it.
And then from Texas to India to Taiwan, all of your work. And we'll ask you to talk a little bit about some of these in just a few minutes, but just to give people, well, tell us about this one. What was this all about?
Well, believe it or not, it was after 30 days of doing a hunger strike in the ditch at Union Carbide. And I had, I did the action to support the people in Bhopal. And matter of fact, it was the Code Pink women before they were Code Pink who really made that hunger strike in support of the people of Bhopal. Matter of fact, they called me from India and said that was the most successful hunger strike that ever did. And it was the women who started Code Pink. And it was, and I had been in the ditch for 30 days and I'd been looking at a tower and I was wondering if I could get over Union Carbide's fence, and I figured I could. So it didn't look like it was that hard. It just had a high fence. And so one day I put on a hard hat, and hard hats float in off the bay all the time from the oil rigs out there. So I put on a hard hat. I had a banner over my shoulder, put on some boots, a pair of sunglasses, and took off for the plant. And the workers are always, they thought I was a worker that lost my ride. So they gave me a ride right into the plant. And I scaled their 80-foot tower, and I bet I was up there at least an hour, and they never even knew it. And I had to stand up and wave at security before they even, I could have been anything up there. And then it all hit the fan. And I was up there 8 hours. There was probably FBI. There was 3 or 4 cop cars, ambulances, deputies, Union Carbide security, you name it, they were there. And every time they started to climb the tower very carefully, I'd look at them and I'd go, no, and then back down. It was really funny to have that much power over those guys, because they were scared to come up. And eventually they got that 200 foot rig and brought it out there, and they put a SWAT team up there to get me down, which they did.
Oh my. I'm just reading in the chat, and of course we'd like for everyone who's on this is a webinar, so we don't really have everyone's pictures to show as part of the gallery, but if you'd write to us in the chat who you are, Jody Evans has just written saying, I was there in the back of the truck.
She was. Yeah, she taught me how to drink enzyme water. I was drinking just plain water out of the well, and I think she put red hot pepper in it, and she put a lemon juice in it, and yes, she brought order to that hunger strike. Trust me.
Oh goodness. And let's see, we've got another picture. This was telling about your climbing the fence and all. And also the whole issue of Bhopal. Did you go to India?
I went to India after Union Carbide blew up, and Union Carbide is right there in Seadrift. It's right outside of town. And it blew up one day, and I had Ward Morehouse. People got to know that guy. He was wonderful. He was out of New York, and I think he was, and he dressed like a Carbide executive, the white shirt and the tie. Anyway, but he was one of the best activists, and I know every time Union Carbide saw him, they must have just got very nervous. Let's put it that way. But he made it so I could go to India, and there was a tribunal for people in Asia who had been harmed by hazards. And so there was people from Japan, from Sri Lanka, from Japan, like Vietnam and Korea, and I got to tell my story about Union Carbide there in Seadrift. Yes, I went there.
And then
real well.
There's a picture of you and Bhopal.
Yeah, no. That one right there is which one are you looking at?
The one on the right.
Oh yeah. That one is I'm sitting in front of Dow in Seadrift, and that's Canoe, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, a little canoe down there.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I met Canoe at that Union Carbide hunger strike, and I believe that other guy there he was a Green Party candidate, so he came down. But we're sitting in the ditch at Union Carbide in Seadrift.
Well, how about the picture on the left? Black Planet
Yeah,
Award.
yeah. Well, that was actually a lot of fun. We delivered a a the Black Planet Award that came from Germany, the Ethicon Foundation, and I hand delivered it to Formosa's the Wong family, which is a big deal. And there were like 40, and they call them in Taiwan, they're real upfront, and they said thugs, they're thugs. And so they were all dressed in security uniforms, 40 people blocking us from going in. And there was so many media with cameras and activists that we collided at the door and busted it open, and we just fell in.
Oh,
And I
wonderful.
threw that trophy, which is a round ball, it's like a ball. I just threw it at the
There it
wonks.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and all of this work, and you're going up on the big thing that the crane had to drag you down.
Right.
What what was the ultimate? What ended up happening after that?
They jailed me for, I don't know, 180 days or so, and probably if Anne hadn't went in and talked to the sheriff and shook her finger at him, I would have been in there longer. But out of that jail time, and I was very, very proud to be able to do that. The Texas Jail Project started, and it has, between Canoe, Krishnavini, and Gundu, and between Diana Clater and Ann Wright, and it's a wonderful project that helps the inmates and their families in for advocacy. And one of the really outstanding things they did is they got where pregnant women are not chained when they're giving birth.
Shackled when they're
That's
giving
right.
birth. That's
That
what the
is right.
Texas law had it.
That's right.
But it was a Texas Jail Project that was instrumental in getting that changed.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Well, so putting the time that you were in the Hooskow and the county jail in Victoria to good use.
I did. You know, it's like the story they say of David Berrigan when they sent him to jail. He started organizing the inmates and they threw him out of jail. They were so sick of him. That's what you got to do. Just turn it around.
Well, when I first met you though was after you, well, before you went to jail, but after you had climbed that tower, and you've been a big anti-war activist. Tell us some about that, please.
Well, actually, you know, I spoke at Pioneers a couple of times, and people there seem to get a big kick out of me talking about unreasonable women. And I would even, after I talked about being unreasonable, I would even have women who would, some of them would come up crying to me about, you know, how that affected them. And so I remember I went to Kenny and his wife, Nina, and I said, you know, I think we ought to do an unreasonable women for the earth type of thing. And so they got some funding and put a number of people in a canyon in California. And we talked about what it would be to be unreasonable. And the first thing we did after that meeting, they supported me at Union Carbide hunger strike. And then I think we went to another Pioneers, and someone stood up and asked this group of women, they said, well, what are you going to do about the imminent war in Iraq? And we decided to do a hunger strike, and that's where we went. We went to Lafayette Park and camped out, got shoved out of Lafayette Park more times than I can count. I think it was freezing cold. It might have been snowing that time. And, but, you know, we formed this coalition, and we did strikes to another hunger strike to in the war, and we went to Baghdad, and I believe that one picture is when we went to Baghdad, and it was before the war started, and before the human shields started coming in.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I think well, you can see, let's see, there's Medea in that picture with you. There's Jody in the background. I'm not sure who the other folks are, but good for you all for going to Baghdad. And then in 2005, the pictures on the right, how about tell us about that?
I guess I can't. They're kind of blocked.
Well,
is that Cindy Shan's
yeah, it's Camp
yeah, is it Crawford?
Yeah, Crawford, and you're talking
Cindy, yeah, it was Cindy Shan's, and you probably know more about that. She was the colonel and absolutely ran that camp. It was like a company there, and if and Ann was the one who got everybody up and moving in the morning and get the food on, and it was the most amazing sudden happening. I mean, what was it? Within a week, there were like how many thousand?
Well, overall, in the 27 days we had the camp, there were over 15,000 people.
Yeah,
that came out to the
unbelievable. It was unbelievable, and I remember some civil rights people came out, and I remember what was it? Joan Bias, didn't she show up? Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah. And
well, these pictures were you negotiating with the police officers out there several times.
Well, I think they figured I was too aggressive with them, and they brought Ann in for diplomacy.
And then tell us about this picture of Amman, Jordan, and what triggered going to Amman, Jordan.
It was after our hunger strike. We did another strike to bring the troops home. Wasn't that what it was? Bring the troops home. And after the hunger strike, we were invited to go to, was it Jordan we went to, or was it Iraq?
Yeah.
Iran. Jordan. We went to there, and we talked to a lot of groups that wanted to voice their concerns about how they felt their country should be run, and that type of thing. And that photo is a gathering of a number of us, and it was amazing. I think after that, I think we might have went to Beirut from there.
Yep, I think part of the group did go on. The Iraqi parliamentarians had come to us or sent a messenger to us at Lafayette Square saying, when you end your fast, why don't you end your fast but come to Amman, where a great number of parliamentarians are, and we'll tell you about a peace plan we have, and we just need help getting the U.S. to go along with this peace plan. So we ended up going and breaking our fast with the parliamentarians.
Yeah, and me and Ann went for chicken, right? It was fried chicken. we got out the airport, and it was like we just had a hankering for fried chicken. I remember that.
We broke our fast a little bit early, but we did 30 days, so nobody got mad at us.
Yeah.
No, that was really quite a time to be there in Amman and meet with the parliamentarians. And then that was when the Israeli attack on Lebanon happened, and then you and several others, Medea and several others, went on to Beirut.
Right. That was amazing. And I remember we went to some of the camps, the refugee camps, and we handed out. We went to visit, and then I remember one day, don't tell me how Medea raised it, but she had all of this ice cream, all these ice cream, and we were handing out ice cream in this in this refugee camp. And I remember there hearing loud explosions, and I nearly jumped out of my skin, and I couldn't imagine what that must be like on a steady term, getting that type of shell blasts and hearing it all the time.
Yeah. Well, but Medea is on this webinar, and I'm sure she'll write us a few little notes about where she got that.
Oh, she did. I don't know
ice
where she
cream.
got it. In the middle of all that bombing, I mean, we went to places where what was so amazing with Medea, and I'm trying to think, kind of reddish hair. What's her name? I can't even, my brain, I can't remember her names. But we would go to places and they said, you cannot get in here. There is no way. And Medea would go there, go talk to a couple people, and she said, they'll take us. And we just hop in the car. And,
Well, Tig Berry's also on, and Tig just wrote, Medea banned me from ice cream, but she gives it away to the rest of the world.
yes, she did. I got some great pictures of that, actually.
Oh, goodness. Well, let's go. Yeah, and Gail Murphy's in.
Gail, it was Gail. I'm sorry. Gail, my brain's not working.
I see Barbara Briggs Letson back there. Medea. Jeff Millard was on that trip. Father Father Louis Vitale was on the trip.
I know. He wanted to go to Beirut too.
Yeah, but he was too sick.
He got too sick. He got too sick.
Let's go on, and then we're going to go through a few more historical opportunities to fully understand what when Diane decides she's going to do something, she does it. And we'll get on to the current project that she's working on in just a minute. But let's go through a couple of more.
Oh, that's fine, wasn't it? Oh. I believe we were in front of BP's headquarters, and I get ideas, and I get these spontaneous ideas, and I think they're really good. And I said, we need to go do a naked protest. and there were some Texas women with me, and they said, oh no, Diane, that's not a good idea. And I said, no, it would, the shock of it will be good. Except everybody stripped off except me. I was hiding behind boards or something or another. But
no, I see Ray Abalay is in here with not much on.
That's right. There were a couple of them really did it, but it was good. And I heard I remember on the way home, I don't know who I was with, but they kept asking us if we were going to do it again. It was like, please do it again. So.
Well, the sign says expose BP's indecent greed. So
right.
BP's indecent, not this. And
that's right.
I see Leslie Harris in the picture, and I think that's Nell, who's passed on. I think that was Nell standing next to you, and I don't know who's in the seagull outfit, but remember that it's probably Medea. I think that was about her size, and that seagull outfit traveled around quite a bit. It ended up in Washington and in a congressional hearing that we'll hear a little bit about. Tell us about being in front of the White House and on another hunger strike.
Yes, let me see. Which one is, this is Guantanamo, wasn't it?
Guantanamo, yeah.
Yeah, and, there was myself, and there was those Vets for Peace, Elliot and them. And I remember
Eric and
yeah, there was a strong crew of serious hunger fasters. And and it was, I think that was one of our major actions on a really bright sunny day. And at the very end, I just decided to I kind of do when I finish a hunger strike, I just get an impulse to really finish it well. So I decided to go over the fence, and the guys, I mean, those vets, they supported me, and it's pretty darn high, and you're 56 days, you're pretty weak. And so they helped me get up there. And I think Ann and Medea and them were distracting the cops, and I got over there.
And then we were yelling really fast, Diane, don't get up. because you went sailing. Well, not sailing, but
Yeah.
you tumbled on over, and then I think the breath got knocked out of you, didn't
Oh,
it?
it did. It really, really did. And then I stood up, and then here come the guns and the dogs and what was real funny is one of the guys that was wrestling me, I think that guy right there, he knocked himself in the face with his own gun, and so he was bleeding. And so when they went to the back to question me with Secret Service, they kept saying, "Did she do that? Did she do that?" And he's like, "I did it myself. I did it myself." I guess he didn't want me known as a
Oh,
woman
God.
who whacked him.
So that was after a 57-day hunger strike
That's
just to close Guantanamo, and Guantanamo's still open with 40 prisoners. But hopefully the Biden administration will finally get that prison closed down. Let's sure hope so.
Yeah.
Well, going from in front of the White House to Congress, what in the world is going on here?
Well, it was when the CEO of BP was going to testify in Congress, and matter of fact, I was in. I think Medea called me from DC, and she said, "Do you know the CEO of BP is going to be testifying here?" And so I went to DC, and I was there 2 days. Got arrested both days, and I was there when that picture was taken when Tony got up to speak, and I had been sitting outside since nearly 2 in the morning to be in line to get into that hearing room, and I did. And the minute he got up, that's when I stood up.
Off you went. And then
Yeah.
here's another
Yeah.
picture. You seem to like these police. They're in every picture with you.
They do. You know, and the funny thing about that one is you see that cord of black stuff. I put that through their security straight down, and it just sailed right through. They didn't say a word about that.
Jeez. Well, and they didn't know what it was, so they were kind of afraid to touch you. As I remember it.
They were very afraid. But you know what was interesting? When I went, they took me to jail. Everybody in that police room started clapping.
Really?
Because they knew it was about BP and what had happened to the Gulf. And
Yeah.
I had so many of the police that were very sympathetic with what I was doing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, over time, the police that were so kind of mean and rude to us in the early days of the Iraq War, as their kids kept coming back from the war, and they started talking to their parents about, why are we over there? And the police started being a lot more sympathetic with our
Right.
protests about that war. They sure did. Well, now here you are down in Texas, and tell us what was going on with this, you and the kayak.
Yeah. I got workers that started working with me. They would, because down here, no unions and agencies don't work, and politicians are bought off, and it was a do nothing agents, federal and state, and all of these pellets were showing up, and the workers were coming and telling me about it. So I got workers from the plant, and we would go looking for these pellets because nobody else would do anything. And eventually I found out that Formosa had 10 stormwater outfalls, and that's where you see that kind of wire gauge stuff back there. That's the direction of the plant, and that's the direction the water comes, and there is pellets and powder like crazy. And so I eventually learned where they were, and I would get the kayak and I'd go right up to them. And that's what I was doing. I was looking for pellets, and that was before, as we were filing suit, and we collected over 2,500 samples. Yep, that's it. And see, there was a lot of them. There were a lot of pellets. I think the one place I was at, I think over a 2-year period, there was like, what was it, 67 billion pellets. It was a lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, and then what happened? You found all the pellets, you sued them in court, and what happened?
Yeah. We got this. So we had uh injured workers, ones that have been harassed by the company and had been fired because they were kind of speaking out. So we went to court, and we had the lawyers was the Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, which is one of the best legal aid. They're just legal aid, and they did it for free. And they do it for poor people who can't afford anything. They normally do for migrant workers down in the valley, and they took on our case, and I mean, we had the evidence. I know we had one of the big lawyers out of Corpus. He said it was the immense evidence we had bins that we put on a goat cart and hauled it into Victoria and hauled it through their little security stuff, and they were astonished about the amount of evidence. And we had a good legal team, and we had a great judge, and he listened to us. And I was not used to people actually listening to us and seeing us. And then the judge ruled that they were that they were guilty. They had like 2,000 violations, and they said they were a serial polluter, and their violations were enormous. And they said the state of Texas obviously didn't know how to enforce, or they didn't want to enforce. And right after that, Formosa was ready to settle. They was ready to get serious. I think they thought the judge was going to fine them $200 billion. So they were, they wanted to settle, and my bottom line was they were going to give us $50 million, and we were going to go zero discharge. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
They just very quietly wrote it down, and it was amazing.
Well, so did you get the 50 million?
Oh, no. We make it very clear. Every single penny went to environmental projects in Calhoun County. And probably for me, the best one, we put $20 million into a sustainable fishery co-op for the fishermen who have about lost everything, and there's no fish houses anymore. There's no place to dock their boats. There's no place to get fuel or sell their shrimp, So we put 20 million into it, and we brought in a kick-ass co-op out of Georgia, the Southern Federation of Co-ops, and they came down, and they're teaching these fishermen how to work together and how to be a sustainable co-op. So I'm very, very pleased with this.
Was that co-op out of Georgia or out of Louisiana?
Georgia. It's about 40 or 50 years old, and it was usually black farmers that they were helping farm co-ops into exist. And they had mainly worked with them, and they had worked with some co-ops in Louisiana, and so they had a great reputation. So we brought them down, and they've been working with the fishermen.
Wonderful. Wow. That is great.
It's great.
Well, here's a picture with a little more evidence.
Yeah. That's before I packed them before I packed them off and sent them to court.
Are you still finding these pellets?
Oh yeah. We're believe it or not, we collected from January 2016 to March 2019, which was the court date. Took 4 days for the court, and then immediately started still checking and collecting pellets, and we have been collecting ever since.
So it's still polluting.
Well, yeah, because you try to a plant that has failures that is causing the pellets to go out and the powder to go out. You, as a part of our settlement, is like they have to find out what's wrong and how to fix it, like whether it's stormwater systems or the units and, all of these different source control and all of this. But then a lot of the problem is that, yeah, you kind of know now, but it's like, how do you fix it? But at least we have a monitor and an independent monitor, and every time Formosa violates our standard of zero discharge, they get a penalty, and we put it in the our little Matagorda trust, and we fund environmental projects.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That is a stunning, stunning success that you all worked hard to get, and by golly,
Yeah.
you got it. That
We
is
did.
great.
They called us crazy the whole time.
Well, crazy good, thank goodness. Well, now tell us what's going on now. You're on another hunger strike. Tell us why.
Oh, well, the thing of it is here you fight all of these years with Formosa to clean up the plastic pollution, which, by the way, picks up if there's contaminants in the bay, it picks them up. Like there's a Superfund, there's mercury, and it picks up the mercury. And can you imagine these little pellets for the birds and for the fish that eat them, and they're transferring the mercury all over the place. And so anyway, we've got 20 million to invest in this Matagorda Bay co-op, and they're just now looking at buying docks and fish houses. And right at the very moment they're trying to do that, you have a pipeline guy, Max Midstream. I'd never heard of the guy before, and he wants to put in a oil export. There used to be a ban on oil exports because it's being exported out. It's crude oil from the Permian Basin and Eagle Ford Shell, and so he wants a deeper and wider ship channel so he can get the really supermax ships in to make more money. And so he is willing to pay to have it dredged. He's got a foreign funder to pay $360 million to dredge it. And it's got mercury. It's going to resuspended methyl mercury, which causes deformities in children. And, and then it's going to cover up maybe over 1,000 acres of oyster reefs. And here we are just trying to revive communities. I mean, these fishing communities are literally, they're dead. You go through Seadrift, all 5 fish houses are gone. They're bulldozed. Every store is shut down and got boards up against it. It used to be a thrive, and you would have net shops, you would have marine supplies, it brought in the grocery stores. And this is all home family fishermen, like family farmers. They're the same type of people. They go out in the evening and back in, and it's very family orientated. And here he wants to just come in and dredge it, bring an oil export, and everybody just seems to go deaf about. And the thing of it is, they are what they wanted to expedite it. They kept saying, it's a deadline. It's a deadline. And it's like, well, it's a self-imposed deadline because they want to get that thing moving as fast as they can. And so
Now, what is the EPA said about this? Don't they have to do an environmental impact statement or something?
well, it's the Corps of Engineers. They did an EIS, and they actually had 3 sentences about the mercury.
Only 3?
Yeah, three sentences, and I know I was listening to the core was coming down and it's telling where they wanted to put it out in the bay, an open disposal, meaning they dredge it and
Blow it out.
oh yeah, and it would cover up all of these natural bayous and all of these natural inlets to these. Matter of fact, they just bought the Powderhorn Lake, and it's beautiful, and it's got lagoons, and it's got all these places you can go, and all this. And I guarantee you, they start blowing that sediment down there, contaminated with sediment. I mean, contaminated with mercury, and it's going to close it up, cover it with sediment. It's terrible. It's terrible. So I'm like, they're not going to do it. They're not. And it's like, what do I do when I got no money and no support and nobody likes it? It's like, well, I'll do a hunger strike.
So there you are on
So there I am.
day number 11 now. Is that
Yeah,
it?
day 11. Yeah.
Day 11. Now, have you had visitors of support? A few visitors coming out to see you?
I have. I really, really have. I've had people from the county that have showed up. I have had I've had oil guys too. I'm used to seeing a bunch of petrochemical workers, but now I'm tending to see oil guys, and they tend to throw curses from the highway, and a few come by and video me, and I actually had one guy, an oil guy, and he was I think he was on the verge of being a whistleblower, and he said he had been collecting oil spills locally for 5 years, and he went and got his phone, and he was just flipping through all of these phones, of all these pictures, and he said, well, his biggest cover up was 4,000 barrels. They covered up 4,000 barrels of contaminated soil and sediment and oil, and
Wow.
some terrible stories, but a really good visit was from Juan Perez, and he's with the White House Environmental Justice Advisory Council. It's
You
hard.
mean our own Juan Perez?
Yes,
Wilson?
yes. And he said he wanted to know what our concerns were, and I told him that what our concerns were, and that we were writing a letter to Biden, asked him to stop it. And he said, well, when you send that letter to Biden, send it to us too. It will be the first letter on our desk. So
Well, is he working in Washington now?
right now he said he's doing a lot of conference calling.
But
Yeah,
he's
so I don't know if he's going to be up there or if it's I don't know how they do it, but I know he was appointed.
wow.
Yeah, I was very, very
Now,
impressed.
tell us what organization in Houston that he worked with.
Oh, he's with Tejas. And before he was with Tejas, he was a really good buddy with Cesar Chavez. He went with him in Mexico all the time. And believe it or not, for a while I had a group of injured workers. And I still think that's a good idea, actually. I've been trying to get someone to get interested in it. But he had I thought I was the first Texas Injured Workers group, but actually Juan had. And so we both got an interest in the workers and the labor force. And given
he was working a lot about all the oil refineries that are along the Houston ship
oh my
channel.
God, yeah,
and
he's
all
with
the environmental
Tejas,
stuff
and
there.
he even takes groups on. He lives around Manchester, which is, it's right there. You look over your shoulder and you got a big petrol tank full of EDC or some lovely thing like that. So he and Brian have been doing that for a very, very long time, and I'm sure his long history is got him that appointment, and I think it's great. It's great.
That's wonderful. That is really great to know somebody that's on a White
Yeah.
House appointed committee.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can we join with you as you write to him and
Oh,
as-
absolutely. because we were when we were writing the letter, we were looking for people in groups that wanted to sign on to the letter, and
Uh-huh.
lovely, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. That okay. Then that's what we want to do, all of
Okay.
us. Some Ellen kindly has written to say I have something on my screen that's now being shared. So there we go. Sorry.
Oh,
So now tell us, besides Juan and the White House uh, committee, what are the other organizations that you're working with in order to build a mobilization for trying to get this dredging stopped?
well, I know just for I've had at least 2 phone calls when, um, you know, when you get on a hunger strike, people get very concerned, and they really want to do something. So I've been on at least 2 phone calls, and there were about 5 different lawyers, and like some of them are from Earth Justice, Earthworks. There was Healthy Gulf. I think they've asked the Water Alliance to join. There is trying to think right off the top of my head.
Sierra Club.
Sierra Club, yes, yes, and so and then there's a lot. So there's a group that is working on the letter to Biden, and also the the illegal angle to stop it, some way to legally, if there's a legal angle on it. But we're trying to stop the dredging and stop the oil exports. And there's 8 on the Texas Gulf Coast. So, we're hoping Biden will reinstate a ban. But I do know, like, a number of the groups they have put together this flotilla action that we're going to do. I think the whole Gulf is going to be a week of actions, and one of them on the 23rd through 25th, I think a camp out at Magnolia Beach, and food and good stuff. And then on bright and early Sunday morning, we're going to launch the kayaks.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, that's great. That sounds wonderful. And are there some ships out there that you can actually block up right now?
No, not yet, but it's kind of like a forewarning. If
Uh-huh.
for me, it's solidarity, but it's also, a kind of shot over the bow. And it's like, this is kind of a show. So
Yep.
they kind of know that they start trying to bring in dredges. What will they meet with?
Yeah.
A bay full of kayaks.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll tell you that. So if anybody's down in the Texas Gulf Coast, they can help you. Well, you're not going to be on this hunger strike forever, I hope, are you? But
Well, when we stop it.
when we stop it, well, yes, that's right. When we stop it, but we want you around for another couple of hunger strike missions, I guess to say. But so people can write. They can, if they're in South Texas, they can come out to the flotilla. They can come by in solidarity.
Sure, I'm always there. Can't miss my truck.
Yep.
It's red. It's red.
It's really red. Indeed. Well, we are so thrilled to have this opportunity to talk with you, to catch up with you, to find out what you're doing, and the latest very important cause that you're bringing to our attention, because without your doing this, none of us would have realized that big dredging operation could be taking place very, very soon.
That's true. Very, very shortly.
Yeah.
And I
So
appreciate it more than I can tell you that you lovely CODEPINK Vets for Peace are doing this. I really appreciate this.
well, we appreciate your courage and your creativity and your relentlessness. I
Yeah.
mean, never taking no for an answer, and
That's right. That's right.
finding out a way to to come on strong and mobilize people. So any other ideas that you have of things that others of us ought to be doing in our own communities? Any?
Well, I think I truly believe everybody, there is something in their community. There is something that they can do. And I think for the good of all mankind, I believe each and every one, there is something, one step we can take. And the thing of it is, it's, it'll get you out of your routine and maybe get you a little uncomfortable, but it will change your life. I'm an introvert, and just stepping out changed my whole life. It really did. And it made me a very happy person.
Well, we are happy with you. And before we go, I think if Mary can help us, if people have a question, I think we can let you speak. And there's Mary. Hi, Mary. Thank
Yep,
you so
Mary.
much for helping. And Max is there also. If anybody has a question, raise your hand, or just want to come on and say hello to Diane, because most everybody that's on here, and I'm
Yeah,
sure they all want to say hello. Let's see. How about highlight?
But just gave Peter Bella the clearance to speak.
Okay, Peter, go ahead.
Does that work for y'all? Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Okay, I
Yeah.
see that. I see that I can. Yeah, I was very interested in some of the activities, and I don't know who to contact, or, for instance, the flotilla, how to get involved with that, and in general, if there's a way to find out from San Antonio, where I am, more about your hunger strike, sort of follow with and follow on. How
Yeah.
can we do that?
Well, there's a Facebook page, and I think it says hunger strike to stop the dredge and stop oil exports. And so you can go there, and it's got things you can tweet, things you can Facebook, and it's got I regularly put up videos and blogs about what's going on. And I do know the action. I think Anne is the link to that kayak action there.
Yeah, let me pull it up right now, and I can put
Yeah.
it in the chat.
Yeah, and just check it out and come down. And like I said, lovely Magnolia Beach and a lot of good people. You'd love the people down here.
That sounds good. Thank you. I am going for my second COVID shot on Monday, so I'll try to get down as quick as I can.
Oh, that'll be super, super, super.
Thank you.
Oh, and I forgot to mention the Society of Native Nations have been extremely supportive down here. I've gotten a lot of support from them.
Is that the folks here that are in San Antonio that you're
Yes,
thinking of?
yes,
Or? Yeah,
yeah.
great. Thank you. And keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you. And see you in a kayak.
I'm going to put the link into the chat right now. How about some other people that might want to say hello to Diane? Oh, I know there are plenty. Don't be bashful. How about this? How about Medea? Are you near your
It's Tig.
Oh,
Tig?
he finds the best bicycle locks.
I was gonna tell you, that is my favorite story.
Yeah.
Diane says, she goes, I want the most expensive bike lock you can find. Paid $150 for this bike lock. She went and locked her neck to the, we all distracted the Secret Service. She locked her neck to the White House fence. It took them 4 hours to get, they had to bring out 3 fire trucks and all kinds of, they they completely coated her with Romex, which is like non-flammable. And then they had to slowly grind this thing off. Man, it was the craziest action I've ever seen in my life. It was
That
good.
is right. I even had a lady recently ask me, she wanted to chain herself. And I said, get one of those, what was it? Tungsten? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was like some German.
Oh, yes. I said, they're the best. They'll have a heck of a time getting that off you. Yeah. And it was Ty who went all over Washington looking for that. And we found it.
Okay, I'll be back.
We were quite worried about, you know, I mean, that ledge on the White House, if anybody knows it, can't get there anymore, but that ledge on the wall is kind of slippery and kind of angled. Man, it's dangerous putting your neck up there, boy. But Diane, she was all into it. It was really great.
Oh,
It was
goodness.
a great action. I really loved it.
Ty also knows how to get those bicycle locks into the congressional office buildings.
Oh, wow.
He just
That
goes
is
right
great.
on through security with them.
It's amazing what you can get that through that security. I have been amazed about that.
Oh. How about, is it, Mary, is it possible that we can let the video for anybody that wants to be on? Can we just tap video so everyone can see who is here, or is that possible with the webinar?
It's not possible to show everyone's video. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, how about other people that would like to make a comment? But many of you have been involved in these crazy things that we've worked on.
I know, I just could say one thing. Can you hear me? It's Tarek.
Hey,
Oh,
Tarek.
yeah.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know whenever Diane or you, Ann, are on an action that I'm involved in, I feel good. I feel totally good. Anytime you guys
Get
are-
out. He's
And-
one of the best fasters out there. I guarantee you. Solidarity with you, my brother.
Yeah, well, my moment of fame was when I joined Elliot in pushing you over the fence. That was a great
True.
one.
Very
We
true.
have a picture.
Very true.
But I wanted to say that we're going live with the website soon that I told you about. And
Oh,
we
bless
have
your
the
heart.
story on there. It'll be
Okay.
pretty soon. And also on the story is all the information about what people can do.
Oh,
And
that's
how you
super,
can do
Tara.
it.
I appreciate it. That's very
Yeah,
good. Thank
And
you.
the other thing I would like is I would like to put a recording of this webinar on the website. So I hope Ann will send it to us or somebody will send it to us.
Yep, we sure will. It's on YouTube, and I think it's on Medea's Facebook, and then we'll have this this recording. So yes, we can send it to everyone.
Good deal.
Okay,
Good.
you guys are great. Diane, we just love you to
Hang in
pieces.
there. I'll wrestle you.
Okay, well, the next time I see you, we gotta have that arm wrestle.
He's afraid I'll wrestle him and win.
Oh, well,
That's
let's
why
see.
he wants to do it while you're on hunger strike.
Yeah. He's scared. He's scared. He's weak.
That's the only thing I'm scared of.
Wonderful.
Hey, it's Medea. I just want to send my love to Diane.
Mwah.
And
I
say
miss
how
you.
grateful I am that you are once again putting your body on the line. I
Yeah.
did it with you once and it was enough.
Yeah. I know. You know, I always love those hunger strikes. I remember one time, I think it was at one of the rallies in DC, and they wanted me to go up and speak. And Jody was there and she whispered, "Do not say you're going on a hunger strike." And I went up and said, "Let's go on a hunger strike." And we did. We went on another hunger strike. Yep.
Oh boy. But sometime you got to tell everybody how you break these hunger strikes.
The last time I broke it with Mexican food is what I did.
I
And
remember the
margarita.
fried chicken with Ann,
Oh
right?
yeah. With Ann, it was definitely chicken.
Chicken,
But
yeah.
the one going over the White House fence, it was Mexican food. Yeah. It was great.
Well, and Ann Wilcox has just chatted in the chat saying that hi to everyone, and then Pat Elder is working on military poisons in Maryland, and he's listening. and he's really done a lot of work on poisons in our water supplies from the military.
Good deal. Good deal. That's one of the worst is the military.
It sure is. It sure is. Okay, anybody else want to say hello to Diane while we're here? And she's probably about to faint from lack of food. Oh,
Hi, Diane.
Can you hear me?
yes, Crystal.
Oh, okay, it's somebody else.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Diane. So Pocky and I are driving across the country in June, and we're talking about.
Come on down. Come on down.
Yep,
I'll show you a time.
I know you will.
I
Okay.
to have you. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, love you too. Bye-bye.
That'd be great,
Bye-bye.
Crystal. Another one of Crystal's road trips. Watch
Yeah.
out for those Pocky, and I think Tig was involved in one going up to Standing Rock. And so when Crystal's on the move, be watchful. Let's see. Connie wants to speak, but apparently she has an older version of Zoom. Let's see. Madeline from Houston says, won't this destroy the Aransas Wildlife Refuge?
Yes, yes, yes. Eventually, all of this. Well, the thing is, let's see. The Aransas Wildlife is around San Antonio Bay. This one will destroy the Powderhorn Reserve. This is a brand new one. It was a big to-do about all of these beautiful wetlands and marshes and places to kayak and the redfish and all kinds of thing. And it's, I think it was bought maybe 2 years ago and set up, and it will totally close it off and smother it. And like I said, about 1,000 acres of oyster reefs, and there goes the livelihood of the fishermen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Connie says, hello from all your friends and admirers in Maine.
Well, love you out there.
Indeed. Well, we definitely want to urge everyone to keep in touch. CODEPINK, thank you all very much, CODEPINK, Mary and Maxine and Jody and Medea and everyone for putting up a lot of material on the CODEPINK website, and we'll continue to populate that with more and more information. So we really, really thank everyone. And Mary, thank you, and Maxine for being on to help us navigate this. And Diane, we will bid farewell and let you get to not having a good dinner, but
yeah, I'll probably go to bed. Seriously, I'll probably go to bed. Yeah.
Well, you take care of yourself, and I'll just mention that your daughter's concerned about you. Your daughter lets us know, like, why are you letting my mom do that again? Why can't you stop her? It's like, well, you're her daughter. Can you stop her? No. Well, we're her friends, and we don't have much luck stopping her either.
I know. Those kids, they should know by now.
Well, they do, and I know they, deep in their heart, they are so, they're very proud of you, but
yeah.
Everybody, of course, is very concerned about your health. And at any point, you've made your point, that's for sure. It's up to us now. We've gotten the point, and we come in to help with this, and we pledge that we will do that.
And I'm most grateful. I really, really am.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, and you take care. Peace.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace out. Okay. Thanks to everyone for being with us.
Thank you.